High costs of living, taxes, frivolous life, and the pesky Canadian experience are some of the few biggest challenges immigrants face. We're all too familiar with the stories of newcomers who are dissatisfied with their new life in Canada and decide to move back to their home country.
However, we'll dare to say that none of these are the real reasons why newcomers don't succeed in Canada. In this video, we will explore real reasons why, and we will share personal stories and actionable resources on how to avoid making the same mistakes so you can be informed, prepared, and find success in Canada and be satisfied with your life here. Let's go! First reason: poor financial decisions. If only I had $1 for every time I heard a newcomer say,
"Back in my country, we had a whole house to ourselves, traveled 4 times a year, and didn't even have to think twice. Now in Canada, we barely cover our living expenses."
I'd certainly be a millionaire for each time I'd heard that. Cost of living in Canada is high, especially if you stick to the major cities in Canada. So many newcomers do end up paying thousands of dollars on rent and draining their finances really fast, instead of considering a smaller city with a lower cost of living. I liked Anna's approach to this issue.
I arrived in Canada with my resume ready and a few information interviews scheduled already. And I was lucky to find a job in one of Canadia's largest energy companies within the first 3 months after coming to Canada. For that, I had to move to a small town. I worked there for a bit to gain some Canadian experience and confidence, and that enabled me to find a new job and move back to Toronto with a significantly higher salary and savings. When you're a newcomer, you're also bound to spend a lot of money. What helped me is to live frugally the first year in Canada. Just experiment and see how much of your salary you can put away. Don't go crazy on spending and give yourself a break for the first year or two until you land that well-paying job in the city you like.
When you're a newcomer, you're also bound to spend a lot of money. You need to buy new stuff from cutlery to furniture, make all the additional cash deposits for rent. If you're from a warm country, you also need to buy winter clothes. It's a lot of expenses up front. Many also make the mistake of living the same lifestyle that they used to in their country and quickly find themselves in debt. And with that, they end up in a situation where they have to take the first job that comes around just so that they can pay their bills. They become hostages of their job. And after a while, they find it hard to find time, energy, and motivation to look for a job in their field. And this vicious circle never ends.
Newcomers underestimate the importance of soft skills. I see this issue over and over again when we help newcomers build their resumes to help find their first job in Canada. Please see the link below if you need help with your resume too. Newcomers often focus on listing all the hard skills and experience they have on their resumes, but totally fail to demonstrate soft skills like collaboration, communication, teamwork, conflict resolution. What Canadians really want to know is, cool, I know you are very skilled and experienced, but are you a good person to work with? Work culture in Canada is special. It focuses less on performance and a lot more on interpersonal relationships and teamwork. So when you are landing your interview, what's on your CV is less important than who you are as a person and what it's like to work with you. Nobody likes brilliant assholes at work, because if you are hard to work with, it doesn't even matter how smart you are. People would be simply avoiding you and all the hard feelings your presence causes. So how do you demonstrate your soft skills? Talk about the people who helped you achieve your goals. Talk about how you've helped others achieve their goals. Describe how you resolved an argument and built relationships with the new clients. And most importantly, smile when talking to people. Even if you're on the phone, humans can always subconsciously know whether or not you're smiling when talking. And fluency of English and French plays a vital role in soft skills. You need to understand what the person is saying and be able to communicate your thoughts clearly. And that leads us to another reason why immigrants fail in Canada.
They don't improve their English or French. It is easy to stick to your own community in the new country, and oftentimes newcomers land their first job within their own community as well. And that's dangerous because it creates a false sense of comfort that you don't need to know English And with that, years pass by and you're still stuck on that survival entry job with your own community. While there can be tremendous opportunities like that early on, it is important to master the language of the country you live in. It helps you assimilate, build trust, build long-lasting professional relationships, understand the nuances of the local mentality, how the systems work, and it ultimately unlocks new career opportunities. One of the most common things I encounter often in my coaching sessions is lack of professional English or French. I can say you're a fantastic professional with some great experience, but when it comes to talking about your work and experience, you struggle because you lack professional vocabulary to express yourself. You only have one chance to impress your hiring manager, and for that, improve your English or French. If you're ready to improve your language skills, we recommend you sign up for the Sprint Challenge with Lingoda. It is an intensive 2-month language learning course designed to help you build a daily language learning habit and stay motivated. And to help you stay on course and motivated, they've built a tracker so that you can keep track of all the classes you did. Here's Anna's progress in French so far. What we love about Lingoda is that it provides an interactive small group learning environment where you're in a small group of maximum 5 students. Its classes are led by certified native level teachers, and you're in complete control of which classes you want to take and when you want to take them. Obviously, given the nature of the class, the more classes you take, the more confidence in English or French you'll build. And even more to that, you will get an opportunity to get up to 50% of cashback on the Sprint Challenge if you take between 30 and 60 classes within the 2-month period. You'll gain even more if you continue with the classes after the Sprint Challenge. That's some motivation, especially when you need to make smart financial decisions. Are you up for the Sprint Challenge? Use the discount code CHANGEAUGUST to receive $25 off your deposit and sign up for the Sprint Challenge today to start building your confidence in English and French.
Newcomers think it'll be easy. One of the most common reasons why immigrants grow unhappy quickly is the rose glasses they wear when deciding to move to Canada. They oversimplify what it takes to grow success in Canada, and I can't blame them. Canada advertises itself as a land of opportunity with millions of job postings, and the way the immigration process is designed, it all creates an expectation that you're in high demand as a professional and therefore you won't have any trouble finding a job here. Canada is also known to be probably the most immigrant-friendly country out there, and that creates a false sense of comfort for newcomers too. So when newcomers come to Canada, they face the reality. Employers aren't actually lining up to hire them, and the rest of the society doesn't really take an extra moment to appreciate what it really takes to arrive in a new country and try to build your life from scratch. With that, newcomers' disappointment grows, and they aren't just disillusioned but also resenting Canada for all the false sense of simplicity and joy it created around immigration. What helped me to avoid this trap is to plan for the worst while hoping for the best. I automatically assumed that it will be hard, and I was ready to work twice as hard to simply get to where I was back in my home country. I told myself that if I can't find a job in my field, I will go study. I will also consider switching fields. I had my plan A, B, C, D ready, and I suggest you do the same. Unless you have a suitcase of cash, a job lined up, and a villa to live waiting for you in Canada, then you can take it easy.
Next, newcomers don't learn from their mistakes. We all make so many mistakes when we're new to Canada, from paying too much for the telecom bill, to letting our landlord set rules that are actually illegal, to not knowing your rights as an employee and letting the employer take advantage of us. What's important is to consistently ask yourself, what could I be doing better? We meet dozens of newcomers all over the internet and in the comments section, and oftentimes we hear,
I've sent hundreds of resumes and got 0 responses,
or
I've been looking for a job and I cannot find anything for me.
Or when it comes to social integration, they say something like,
Canadians don't get me, they're so superficial.
well, whatever you're doing, it's not working, and you should try something new. It is easy to blame the Canadian employers for failure to recognize your strengths. But what's harder, yet more effective, is to try and understand what it is you could be doing better, like learning missing skills and improving your resume, meeting people, networking in your field, asking for advice, and constantly adapting to the new things that you learn. Same goes for the Canadian culture and mentality when trying to make friends and build relationships. We will cover that in our next point.
Newcomers don't leverage the system. It is far too common to hear newcomers criticize the Canadian culture, how grossly open-minded and tolerant it is, how frustrating the government institutions and bureaucracy are, and how expensive everything is, and how high the taxes are, and how annoying the office politics is, and the list goes on and on and on. The most successful immigrants study the system, understand it, and most importantly, leverage it. Yes, the taxes are high, but you also get so many tax credits and benefits if you only knew where to look and how to get them. Yes, banking system is slow and conservative, but at least you don't have to worry about your bank collapsing tomorrow like it happens in the States or in Europe. Sure, office politics sucks, but learning to play along will bring you the long-awaited promotion. You get the point. When we make the decision to come to Canada, we also are making a decision to change ourselves, and we must not resist that, because the new environment, new challenges, and the new, better life requires change. So, you've gotta make that change. Research, prepare, observe, learn, adapt, grow, and succeed. If you're watching this, you are already a step ahead of 90% of all newcomers. You are proactively planning for the worst, and you are preparing yourself for the best when in Canada. If you've been in Canada for a few years now, let us know whether you can relate to any of the mistakes we've talked about and share your experience with newcomers. And if you're just planning to move to Canada, let us know what is your biggest fear. Thank you for watching. If this video was helpful to you, please hit the like button below. It will really help us, and it will let YouTube know that more people should see this video. Make sure to sign up for the awesome Spring Challenge with Lingoda using the link below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you don't want to miss any upcoming videos. A huge shout out to our Patreon supporters. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.